now I'd like to tell you a little bit about tonight's keynote speaker, Michael Higgenbottom. Michael Higgenbottom is a successful film, commercial, and stage actor. He recently completed filming a lead role opposite Oscar-winning actor Lou Gossett Jr. in the Sony Pictures feature film The Grace Card, released in theaters February 25th, 2011. A Chicago native, Michael began pursuing his dream of acting after moving to Memphis in 2000. An alumni of Knoxville College and the University of Memphis, Michael is a twin, has a set of younger twin brothers. His twin sister has twins, and his grandmother had 5 sets of twins. Michael has no children. Michael's star quality and relentless commitment to pursue his dreams proves his ability to recognize the importance of building common ground in our personal and professional lives. Friends, without further delay, please welcome to the stage our keynote speaker, Mr. Michael Higgenbottom.
Good evening, everyone. Let me adjust this first. They're tall twins in my family. All right, good evening. I'm honored to have been invited here tonight to deliver the keynote speech for the Common Ground's 3rd year anniversary. Thank you, everybody. In the movie The Grace Card, I play the character Sam Wright, a pastor police officer who is partnered with a white officer who is left bitter and prejudiced after the death of his 5-year-old son at the hands of a black man. Now, the film chronicles the dramas that unfold as both characters face a series of challenges and mounting tension made worse by an on-duty tragedy. With guidance from my wise grandfather in the movie, played by none other than Academy Award winner Lou Gossett Jr., maybe grace will prevail. How many people here have seen the movie The Grace Card? Good. Now it says, every day we have an opportunity to rebuild relationships and heal deep wounds by extending and receiving God's grace. That is the vision of the movie The Grace Card that I was blessed enough to be a part of. Now, the title The Grace Card is without doubt a play on the term the race card. And I'm sure we all here know about the race card, correct? And we all know what the race card entails and how destructive its usage can be. The truth is, however, that if race relations in this country and in our city were up to par, then the race card usage would lose its sting. Memphis is certainly a city that historically has been dealt its share of deep wounds. The question is, what can we do in the future to build the relationships envisioned by Dr. King, who lost his life in this city some 43 years ago? I take a look around this room tonight and I see many people who are different than me. People with different hair color, length, different eye color, some people with glasses. See a couple funny looking people? Right? I see people of different ethnicities and backgrounds. I see diversity. I often hear people say it's like a testament to their willingness to embrace diversity that I'm colorblind. I don't see a color. How can you be? It exists. It's obvious. We need to stop pretending like we don't see it and learn to embrace the differences between us. We need to ask questions and attempt to build relationships with people different than ourselves. It has to start in the home. But unfortunately, that's where most of it starts. So you see, racism is a cycle. It's passed on often through generations like heirlooms. The parents never accepted diversity and never deemed it to be of any importance. And honestly, we all have our insecurities and our quirks when it comes to race. Whether we know it or not, I mean, we all have these stereotypes and stigmas that we attribute to other races. I want to clear the air. First, not all Asians know martial arts. Not all Hispanics know how to landscape. Not all white people can't dance. And not all black people know how to. Although we are pretty good at it, generally. And hey, you know, some of my best friends are white. You all have heard that before, right? But seriously, I do have a best friend who just happens to be a white guy. Now, ordinarily, this person would not have been a friend of mine. I mean, we didn't have much in common. He was raised in Arkansas, I was raised in Chicago. But we actually had to live next to each other in a duplex for about 3 years, so a relationship just developed. I remember that every time when this friend introduced me to one of his other friends, he felt the need to explain how it was that we became friends. You know, or tell them about my accomplishments or about the type of job that I had. So I remember one day when I actually confronted him about it. And he was oblivious to the fact that it was anything that he even did. But having spoken to him about it, it was something that he never did after that. It actually strengthened the friendship that we had and allowed us both to start talking about the things that made each of us uncomfortable. We were no longer afraid to ask questions in regards to race and our families and our backgrounds. It was actually years later that I learned that his grandfather was actually extremely racist, and that his father, who I'd met on several occasions, had dealt with racism in his life for years. So I now believe that it has to be prevalent in our schools. It has to start there. Patricia Gurin, a professor of psychology at the University of Michigan, contended that students who interact with diverse students in classrooms and in broad campus environments will be more motivated and better able to participate in heterogeneous and complex societies. That's what we live in, people. No matter how isolated or blind we attempt to be in regards to diversity, we all, at some point in our lives, will have to deal with someone whose ethnicity, religion, background, or ideals are different than our own. It's through our youth that we can begin to foster race relations through educational classes geared toward the understanding and appreciation of diversity. Through community organizations such as Common Ground that facilitate forums dedicated to allowing people from diverse ethnicities and backgrounds an opportunity to interact, we can begin to create a conversation. Through employers implementing inclusion and diversity programs to address multicultural differences, we can reduce turnovers in these jobs and promote creativity. It all begins with us, people. In a recent telephone survey conducted by the Rasmussen Report, only 38% of Americans in this country felt that race relations were getting any better. Only 38%. 29% of Americans actually felt that race relations were staying the same, no improvement whatsoever. And another 29% actually felt that race relations in this country were worsening. Now, we said earlier that everybody here pretty much roots for the Grizzlies, correct? All right? All right. Now, as you all may know, a basketball team is comprised of 5 people, right? 5 players, okay? You got your point guard, you got Mike Conley, right? Okay? You got your shooting guard, or O.J. Mayo, Tony Allen. We got Shane Battier back, okay? That is until Rudy comes back. Right? And we got Big Zebo or Zach over at power forward, right? Mark Gasol at center. Now, the one thing that you notice about the Memphis Grizzlies is that each player on the Grizzlies has a different responsibility and a different skill set, correct? Now, personally, I love to watch Zach Randolph. I heard you all clapping when I said his name. I love it. Great game. But imagine a team full of nothing but Zach Randolphs. I mean, it might be kind of fun to watch at first, right? But after a while, it get a little boring. And they might even win a couple games because he's a good player. But if every player on the team had the same skill set and the same talent, eventually they become easy to stop. They become predictable. In order for the Grizzlies to win, or as Charlie Sheen would say, winning, it takes efforts of different skill sets. It takes people to bring their talents to the table. In order for us to be successful, it takes the effort of various people with different backgrounds and different talents. It doesn't stop there though, because anybody here that's ever played a sport knows that just having a talented group of individuals doesn't assure a win. It takes camaraderie. It takes teamwork. It takes combined efforts and selflessness of everyone involved. The future of Memphis calls for each of us to employ this mentality in our daily interactions, in our schools, in our jobs, and in our homes. I say mostly in our homes because what's done behind closed doors can be more destructive than what's done out in the open. We can't change the past, but by changing our mindsets, people, we have a chance to alter the future in such a way that our children and their children will never have the need to use the race card ever again. That no one will ever have to feel inferior or feel superior to anyone based on race, religion, or gender ever again. In closing, I would like to read a scripture that, as I understand, was instrumental in the steadfastness of the Common Ground organization. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 reads, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." We can't give up. The future of this city and of this nation depends on us to finally be the United States. Let's change the image of Memphis from the city where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated to the city where his dream was realized. Thank you.